Oh God, it's happening! I know you just want to give me a big hug, but no thank you.
Why don't we get this out of the way, because everybody's been posting the living shit out of it. In fact, some people were trying to post crappy cam rips about it. Why don't you go ahead and talk about your experience with your you went with a meetup group, a brony
yes,
meetup.
I did. Ladies and gentlemen, as of last night, I can safely say that I have sat down and watched, on its premiere day, Equestria Girls Rainbow Rocks.
Yeah, everybody was posting the living shit out of it. Now, since you went with that brony meetup group, how did the movie turn out? Did at least some of the people actually sat down and just actually shut the hell up?
Oh boy.
Okay,
Gonzo?
where do we start then? Because I can tell you got a lot to deal with. Might as well just find a good place to start.
Gonzo?
Yes.
Say this movie was amazing is a severe understatement to how awesome it was.
I don't know. I got some people complaining about it.
Oh, please. Oh, yes, I should probably say yes, we have spoilers ahead. But yeah.
Yeah, if you don't want spoilers, you might want to mute now, and I'll let you guys know. If you want to listen up and see what you're about to jump into, might as well stick around.
Okay, so I have many things to say about this movie, but anyways, the one question I should probably knock out of everyone's mind, and this is a big question, is was this movie as good as the first Equestria Girls? And I'm going to answer that as saying that this movie, in my opinion at least, is absolutely and definitely better than the first Equestria Girls. By a mile. By miles, dude. You have no idea. Oh my goodness.
Well, that's good to know. At least you liked it.
I loved it, dude. Anyways, oh boy, where to start with this?
How about we deal with some of the rumors? Everybody kept saying Octavia spoke. How did she sound to you? And how was it, in your honest opinion?
A bit British. It was only like one or two lines, but yeah, there was a kind of Brit in there. So it was that. And spoilers, Vinyl Scratch still doesn't speak.
Vinyl's still mute. She lets the music speak on her behalf.
Pretty much.
Or not.
Pretty much.
Well, some people were complaining, at least we didn't get Vinyl voiced by Noaking.
Yeah.
I don't know why, though.
I don't know. What other rumors did you say there were? Like, are there any others you want me to just...
Well, I can already say for certain there was a screen cap that's been floating around. That Twilight was nude, but I can really dismiss that because nobody in their right mind within Hasbro would even endorse human nudity.
Nobody. And I can debunk that. I didn't see a single nudie shot in that entire movie.
Nobody would want to deal with it. I heard that the puppet grids have bounce, but that's about it.
Mm-hmm.
What did you find out? What were the exact kind of creatures?
I will get into that.
I
will get into that. Don't worry. I will. Don't worry.
Okay.
Okay. So where to bloody start with Equestria Girls Rainbow Rocks? Well, first thing that I absolutely need to dive into is the music. I'm going to dive right into music before anything else because I need to talk about this film's music and soundtrack.
Hopefully it's a lot better off because there were some hit and misses in the previous movie.
Yeah. I'm going to say this right now. The exact moment in this movie I heard both Trixie and Sunset Shimmer sing is the exact moment I made possibly the happiest and manliest squee I could ever make.
Is there any such thing as a manliest squee?
I have no idea, but apparently I did it. Because yes, the music in this movie is... Oh my god, there are no words to describe it. It's just amazing.
Alright.
Yeah. And going back to what you said about Adagio, Dazzle, and crew, our main antagonists, because I did find out that it's Adagio, Dazzle. Her two cohorts are Araya Blaze and Sonata Dusk, for those who did not know.
Okay, and what? Well, actually, we pretty much heard about Sonata because, well, guess who had a little bit of a little bit of a crush on her and liked her design?
Who?
Jay. Little Miss
Oh,
Jay.
really? Oh, yeah, I remember that. I think I saw it on Tumblr.
He did a few.
Yeah. But anyways, about the Dazzlings, I would just like to go in ahead and say, I called it! I fucking called it! The Dazzlings were Sirens!
Sirens, huh?
Yes.
Some people were speculating that there were something like Kelpies or something. I don't know, but it's a strange thing. But you're saying Sirens.
Yes, I called it. Adagio, Sonata, and Araya were Sirens.
Did they look like horse-fish hybrids or something?
Oh, I may as well spoil this much. Yes, in the end, they do reveal their true forms. It's definitely something, definitely miles off from, just Sunset Satan, but to see that was amazing. And speaking of their true forms, I may as well also, people are probably wondering how exactly they got into this world in the first place.
I'm going to take a wild guess and say Celestia shoved it into their world and said that's their problem now. Now to go on and eat cake.
Far from it, actually.
Wait, what?
As it turns out, Twilight Sparkle explains it to all of us in the movie. It turns out, as it was shown, Adagio's crew as Sirens back in Equestria essentially used their singing to turn every pony and everybody against each other and fed off the negative emotions, but they were then banished from Equestria, not by Celestia, but by the one and only Star Swirl the Bearded.
Well, this is news.
Yes. I genuinely was not expecting that because spoilers here, the preview clip that showed Adagio and her crew in the cafe, that was the actual opening to the movie. And the part about them being banished, that was true. Yeah.
So Star Swirl the Bearded actually banished them. Not Celestia, not Luna, none, just him?
Yes.
Wow. I thought it would have been Celestia because, well, lately she's been kind of showing that she's showing her royal duties to someone else, so she could probably just go and be fucking lazy and get her fat butt fatter and eat cake and do whatever.
It's actually the irony in this. Celestia doesn't even appear in this movie, at least not in Equestria. It's all about human Celestia and Luna here.
Huh. So this was an official. Well, yeah, I imagine that it ain't really royal business because, well, Adagio isn't an exact threat of Equestria, but it turned out to be a threat to, what was it, Equestria? Canterlot High, was it?
Canterlot High, you
yes,
got it right.
I was trying to remember.
But yes, Adagio, so yes, they were banished by Star Swirl the Bearded, and as I mentioned before, from the cafe, they see what happens from the end of the first Equestria Girls. They see what happens with Sunset Satan getting blasted by the human elements of insanity, and Adagio realizes there's equestrian energy in this world and they can feed off of that. So they end up signing up as soon as the Camelot High, and they, of course, go join the Battle of the Band. Oh.
You said elements of insanity. You meant harmony, right?
Somehow I knew that was going to happen. Where did I... Okay, where exactly did I cut off? And what's...
I had to stop you. Really because you said the elements of insanity when it's really the elements of harmony.
I did.
Yes.
Oh god. Oh god. Well, I can't English tonight.
It's okay.
Okay, so where exactly did I cut off?
Okay, I had to stop you at the fact that yes, Adagio saw, as in some of the previews, Adagio and her crew saw what was happening. Saw what was happening in Equestria Girls 1.
Yes, they saw what happened. Adagio realizes that there is equestrian energy in this world, and they can feed off of that. So Adagio, Sonata, and Araya, they go to Canterlot High posing as students, and of course it's, oh boy, before I even go any further, I have to talk about Sunset Shimmer in this movie, because she plays quite a big role in this movie as opposed to the first movie.
being an antagonist in the
Yeah.
first, but now being one of the protagonists.
Yes, this time around, Hasbro seems to care a lot about continuity because she is still very much repentant for her actions from the first movie. So much so that pretty much everybody in Camelot High gives her, well, you can imagine.
I somewhat can't. Why don't you enlighten for the rest of us?
Let's just say, when Celestia first announces the whole band thing happening at Camelot High, she makes mention of the fall formal. Everybody in the auditorium diverts their attention to Sunset Shimmer. I'm going to tell you this: when even Trixie is giving you a dirty look, you know that you fucked up.
Well, gee, you went into a demon, you turned the entire high school into hypnotized zombie-like state, and you basically try to do it just so you can fucking show Celestia that, indeed, you're not fit to be fit. You're not fit to be royalty because you wanted things, you wanted things instead of you actually being, like Twilight Sparkle or something like that. I don't know.
Yeah.
I think I lost my train of thought, kind of. It kind of drowned off a little bit.
But anyways, so of course Adagio's crew, Adagio Dazzle and her friends get in, and of course this leads to them singing and getting everybody in Camelot High into a frenzy and turning their friendly little competition into a battle of the bands. And of course Sunset Shimmer realizes that something is amiss, but this also leads into something else that happened with the Human Main Five, which I also haven't talked about yet.
Well, how were they faring since the last time we seen them?
This is where things get interesting. So, as it turns out, the clips that Hasbro released that shows all of them getting their instruments, we all remember those?
Let me guess. They were all canon.
Those were not in the movie, but they apparently were precursors to the events in the movie because they all have their instruments and they all have the ability to turn half pony from playing their instruments.
Oh, so those were just pretty much tie-ins between Equestria Girls and Equestria Girls Rainbow Rocks.
Pretty much. And apparently the reason they can do this is because it actually seems they actually remember who Princess Twilight is, so that's also very nice to know.
Okay, they remember Twilight, and they were able to, and the human main five are able to turn into ponies.
Yes, the reasoning behind this is that if we all remember back in the first Equestria Girls, when the element of magic was able to invoke the human elements of harmony together from, revoking the human elements and all that,
Yeah, with Twilight.
Apparently, even though Twilight's crown was back on Equestria, some of the magic remained in the human world, and I suppose it kind of rubbed off on the Human Main Five, which gave them that capability.
I'd imagine that, and it's probably the reason why Adagio is attracted to that energy. Some of the equestrian energy from Twilight's magic must have rubbed off on them, and that's why the Adagio was able to pick up on them.
Yes.
It came from the pony and left and stayed in the human.
Yes. And it also has to do with the fact that, Adagio and her friends have pendants, which, there's a very interesting little detail about those pendants that is revealed in the end, but I'm not going to dare spoil that one. And I am also not going to dare spoil the final battle between Adagio Dazzle's crew and Twilight Spark and the main Seven's crew, because yes, I said main Seven, also not spoiling that.
Well, yeah, I imagine Sunset Shimmer joined in on this thing.
Oh, yes, but again, I am not saying shit about it. You're going to have to go and watch it yourself. You all going to have to watch it yourself.
$5 says that Twilight wins because that's how Hasbro rolls.
Again, lips sealed. You'll have to see it yourself just to see what I'm talking about.
Fair enough. I'm just going to wait until a cam rip so we can stream this without having to deal with the excess audio of people who might be ranting and raving and just going apeshit and drowning out the audio.
Yes, anyways, back to what I was saying about the music. The songs in this movie are incredibly well done. Daniel Ingram outdid himself this time, and all the songs with the Dazzlings, of course, are... I can't believe I'm saying this. All the songs with the Dazzlings are probably the best songs in this entire movie. Probably because, again, we have the singing voice of Rarity and Princess Luna as the lead of the Dazzlings. Yeah. And again, yes, both Trixie and Sunset sing in this movie. Trixie, I didn't expect her to be singing in this movie, but I was Again, I can't begin to tell you how happy I was to hear probably my favorite my favorite pony sing, you know?
I imagine.
Yes.
You like Trixie,
And
you
again,
like Sunset, and it just works out for the both of you.
yes. And in fact, allow me to play the song that Trixie sings just to give you a taste of what the music in this movie is like.
Better believe I got tricks up my sleeve and I captivate cause I'm powerful and great. Yeah, yeah. You better believe I got tricks up my sleeve. Seen to dominate cause I'm powerful and great. Yeah.
So yeah, that's Trixie singing.
Sounded kind of familiar-ish.
Oh, it did now.
I don't know. Maybe it's from a '90s R&B group. It sounded kind of weird.
Yeah, but still, that is just one taste of what the music is like. I would probably, and the song that is played during the final confrontation between Adagio Dazzle and Twilight's crew is probably one of the best songs in the entire movie. Because again, as I said, the songs of the Dazzlings are some of the best. But that's not to say that all the other music sucks, of course.
Yeah, it's just that the whole music's great, but that number pretty much sealed the deal, right?
Yes, because again, the final confrontation song is 10 different flavors of epic and awesome that I can't even talk about it without spoiling anything.
Ooh, I bet this battle's going to be like some of the battles that happened in Scott Pilgrim vs. the World.
Oh, the way it goes out, everybody in the theater was going, holy shit.
Hey, careful, there's kids about.
Yeah. But anyways, I think I've talked about the music. Let's talk about everything else now. So the story. I already talked about how Adagio Dazzle's intentions, right?
Yeah, they're pretty much feeding off of the equestrian energy.
Yes, they are basically going to. Sorry, I'm a little loopy at the moment because I'm still reeling from everything.
Wait,
anyway,
it happened yesterday. How could you still be reeling in it today? Today's Sunday.
Because I remembered too much, and it was too awesome to even forget. Something like that.
Yeah, I can understand that.
So, yeah, anyways, I already talked about Adagio and her friends singing and driving everyone to frenzy, turning into a battle of the bands. I should note, they also got to Celestia and Luna. They got them under their spell as well.
Oh, God. The argument of the twin sisters. What's next is going to be Vice Principal Nightmare Moon.
Well, let's just say that the principals being under the dazzling spell is also a reason why Twilight Sparkle and her friends got as far as they did. Hint, hint.
Okay.
But anyways, I've already talked about Adagio's intentions. What about how Twilight gets back to the human world?
Supposedly there was a letter sent to her about this?
Almost. As Sunset Shimmer reveals, she has a book in her possession that, when written in it, those exact words will appear in a similar book back in Equestria. So, apparently, her explanation for this is that she apparently took it with her when Celestia ousted her, and she, well, wouldn't you know it, she's actually, figured, wow, I cannot English tonight.
Calm down, take it nice and slow.
Okay, so she has the book. She had it with her when Celestia booted her from her studies, and she apparently wanted it as a kind of reminder of what she could have been, or something or other. Yeah. So, yes, she writes a message in the book, and Twilight just happens to get it because, well, she is still in the, her new palace that she got at the end of the Season 4 finale, so that's also very nice to see.
Oh, continuity. Yay.
Yes. And she gets the message, and that's when Twilight reveals to us about the Dazzlings being Sirens. To her pony friends, no less.
Huh.
And yes, vice versa with the human main five remembering who Twilight is, Twilight also still remembers who her human friends are.
Because they resembled her old friends as well in the pony world.
Yes. So, Twilight figures out about the Sirens, but then, of course, there's the issue of, the mirror still not being open, since we still don't know exactly how many moons have passed between both movies.
Could have been
right?
the whole goddamn season.
Yeah. So, what she does is actually pretty interesting. She creates a device, hooks it up to the mirror, and channels it in a way that it uses the magic from the book to channel it into the mirror, thus reopening the portal and allowing her to get back into the human world. Sounds like a stretch, but it actually kind of makes sense, at least in my opinion.
At least I think so, yeah, because Twilight's got that brainiac brain in hers.
Yes. And in the end, as it turns out, well, apparently this kind of device can apparently keep the portal open, because I believe her exact words before she goes back to Equestria, her words were something along the lines of, well, I can't remember exactly what they were. Something about how the portal will still be open with that device, and she can, well, honestly, I can't remember what she said, but yeah, I can't remember what she said. I shouldn't have said that. Dar!
She might come back. Who knows? It might be another Equestria Girl sequel. Who knows?
Something like... Oh, God. Speaking of sequels...
What?
There is a ginormous twist ending at the end of the credits that even Megan McCarthy tweeted about, and I wouldn't dare spoil it for the life of me. You're going to have to sit through the credits in order to see what I'm talking about, but...
I hate sitting through the credits.
Hey, the credits here were good, but the twist at the end blew my mind beyond any comprehension of the term that I couldn't believe it. Let's just say... Well, yeah, I'm not spoiling shit.
Damn it. And I don't have the money to even bribe you.
But anyways, that's the story for you, and it actually kind of works, you know? Honestly. And well, speaking of the Dajio's crew, I'm actually quite happy to see Trixie actually got a bit of a bigger role here than I thought she would, because I thought she was just going to be in the background as one of the bands, but she got quite
well, she just managed to spoil it, I think.
What? Oh, pfft. Yeah, thanks a lot, dude. Well, I'm not saying shit. Y'all can look at that, but I'm not saying anything.
Well,
yeah.
There's the human Twilight that would appear, but then again, we don't know if it's real or not. I can't even take your word for it. I mean, people can manipulate and fucking make up fake ass shit. Like I said earlier, some people try to pass off a fake naked human Twilight as an official screenshot from the film. And
yeah.
So basically, we can't really take your word for it, not unless there's actual proof. Which we will wait until at least somebody rips a theater DVD like before.
Excuse me. I'm just for safety's and spoilers' sake, I'm removing that Wellsome guy's messages just for safe.
Okay then.
Anyway, so yes, Trixie got a bit of a bigger role here as a villain than I actually expected. Not just because she was under Adagio Dazzle's spell, but yeah, I'm happy about that, believe it or not. But anyways, talking about the characters, how about Sunset? How does she fare from here as opposed to the first movie? Well, as I said, she's very much repentant for her actions, and she actually gets a nice little bit of development in this movie, because the interactions between her and Twilight are really something to see.
Well, she's not opposing Twilight, and she's not ridiculing her or trying to steal her crown because she got butthurt. She won't be a princess.
Yeah. Let's just say she actually is still pretty sensitive about people mentioning her turning into a demon, because as I said before, she herself said it, and she does say it in the movie. She said, "I turned into a raging she-demon."
Ironic, since well, we do need to cover that fanfic. We're pretty much reading the fanfic about her not really being thrilled about having a demonic side to her.
Oh, that Shimmers?
Uh-huh.
Oh yeah, we really need to get Alex back for that. We really do. Because it's up to like chapter 11 now, last I checked. Anyways, that's off topic. Let's get back to what was I just... Oh yeah, the characters. And I'll say, yes, Flash Sentry is back, and it seems that... Well, I wasn't expecting this. It seems Flash remembers Twilight, but Twilight also remembers Flash, and she did get a little giddy when Applejack said that he was looking for her.
Waifu stealer. You waifu stealing piece of shit! You stole my waifu!
Yeah. I'm just gonna spoil this as well. They actually do almost kiss in the end, but Trixie spoils it.
God damn it, Trixie, you cock-blocking bitch.
Hey! Imagine what would happen if it actually did go through. I think a lot more people would have hated this movie as opposed to liking it.
Oh, good point. Oversensitive goddamn parents.
Yeah. But still, it was nice to at least see Flash and Twilight interact a bit more. Yeah. And speaking of characters appearing again, I'd also like to just go on about the mountainous amounts of cameos that were in this movie. Nods to the Brony fandom and all that. I think Hasbro really still cares about us.
Yeah, it's just that they're spoiling us a little too much, some people say.
Well, let's see who we got. We have Trixie, as I said. We have Sunset Shimmer, we have Flash Sentry, we have Lyra and Bonbon appearing together in a duet, no less. Even though we don't get to hear, they do appear in a piano duet. Lyra Bond is a thing in this world, apparently.
I've also heard about Vinyl and Octavia.
Yes, Vinyl, we have Vinyl, we have Octavia, we have Human Bulk Biceps. Yeah!
Well, that's something.
And we have Derpy. I can't begin to tell you how much screen time Derpy got in this movie. Seriously. Yeah. I'm actually quite happy about that. I think Hasbro does still care about the old Derp after all.
Well, yeah, I imagine that. I mean, we just won't let her die just because some butthurt company tried to censor her.
Never. Never at all. Not happening. Nope.
Please let there be an Optimus Prime cosplayer, anyone, Gonzo, Shadow. What?
What? What does that have to do with anything we're saying?
I have no idea.
Oh, and yes, Sips and Sales were in this movie, and Human Maud was in this movie. Human Maud Pie. And yes, she has a pet rock too. His name is Boulder.
How did I not see that coming? But then again, I was also told that somebody ended up staying up with me last time, and people thought I could pass off as a male mod.
Yeah. It's like, so we have Human Maud Pie, and apparently Pinkie Pie's refrigerator is full of nothing but whipped cream. Because Pinkie Pie!
I was about to say because kinky, whipped cream and kinky,
And apparently Twilight is still using a pen with her mouth, which is saying a lot. And her writing is also apparently still shit, because, yeah.
Hello, you're in a human world.
Yeah. Because apparently her whole thing in this movie is that she's trying to produce a counterspell to counter the Dazzling's magic, and, well, send him reeling, of course.
She forgot, though, that she has to gather some stuff, because, well, when you go from Alicorn to regular human, the magic doesn't really stay much.
Yeah, I have to tell you though, everybody, every one of the human main five, even Sunset, are heavily dependent on Twilight to get this counterspell going, and it kind of does do her in the end. But she does pull her around, but everybody's expecting of her to get the counterspell going. I really felt bad for her, I really did.
Yeah.
Mainly because everybody was making her out to be their savior, and thinking that she would do it in no time flat. Pretty much. Because their whole goal at this point is their entire goal, their mission, was to get to the final round of the Battle of the Bands against the Dazzlings, and keeping their ability to turn half pony on the down low so as not to tip Adagio off. And of course, Rainbow Dash being, well, now that I mentioned Rainbow, I may as well just get into the rest of the characters. The human main, the human main five, of course.
Yeah, they're pretty much human translations of the ponies to a degree.
Yes. They're all still pretty much the same as they were in the first Equestria Girls, which is very nice. Fluttershy, well, Rainbow Dash being Rainbow Dash, she thinks that she is the leader of their band, which is, as I said, was called the Rain Booms. And of course, Rainbow Dash being Rainbow Dash kind of serves as one of the main conflicts as to why every one of the human main five almost splits up again.
God damn it, Rainbow Dash. Fucking control your goddamn ego.
Yeah, I mean, she's just so eager to be the lead singer and lead guitarist. It's like, she's the main reason why the Rain Booms almost blew their half-pony cover to the Adagio's crew. And said conflict there leads to a pretty intense moment with Sunset, well, again, I'm not spoiling it, but a pretty big thing happened to Sunset, and it's... the interaction between Sunset and the Dazzlings, they seem to play off the fact that, everybody hates Sunset now and her actions from before. Yeah.
Ugh.
And speaking as much, I'd also like to say, speaking of Adagio, it seems that Sunset's past bitchiness had to go somewhere, and it seems it took on the form of Adagio Dazzle.
Oh, God have mercy.
Yeah.
It's like they literally took off. It's like literally Sunset's bitchiness just went off as a little bitty invisible puppy, went off somewhere, and then all of a sudden Adagio went, "Ooh, I became bitchy, and I want to take over the world."
Yeah. That's not to say that Adagio is any less potent of a villain, I'll tell you that.
Some people are asking about Sonata Dusk's personality, mainly Danger.
So, okay, well, anyways, Adagio Dazzle's a bitch, Sonata Dusk is a ditzy bubblehead, and Araya Blaze seems to be the one of them who is almost as smart as Adagio, but she still does kind of squabble with Araya Sonata every now and then in the movie. Yeah.
Ooh, I got James Cork here. Yay!
Oh, hello. He's the film's... What was it? What was the
Movie
name
Slate.
of it?
His character is Movie Slate.
Yeah. Now I remember. I actually like that guy's work.
Yeah. Anyways.
And people were asking about this Wellsem guy. What the hell's going on? You want me to do something about this?
If you want to, I don't know what's going on with Wellsem, so...
Here, I'll take it. 24-hour ban, just to be safe, because nobody needs this.
Fair enough. Might as well.
Anyways, what was I just talking about now? I let that moment there kind of made me lose my train of thought.
Well, you were talking about the Dazzlers, I think.
Mm-hmm. Well, yeah, I lost my train of thought. Oh yeah, I was talking about Adagio was the bitch.
Sonata.
I can't English tonight. Adagio is the bitch. Sonata is the bubblehead. Araya is the level-headed. Oh, she does still struggle with Sonata. Yeah. And I tell you, if you saw how stupid Sonata was, you'd probably laugh. Yeah.
Oh boy. I bet it's just as troublesome as the witches from Hocus Pocus, which, by the way, Lifetime Network is still trying to re-air that goddamn shit on repeat.
Seriously? It's not even Halloween. It's not even goddamn Halloween yet.
During the nighttime hours, serious as hell, somehow they decided to replay Hocus Pocus repeatedly.
Yeesh.
To the point to where, well, hell, I don't even watch Lifetime anyways. It's just making me want to avoid Lifetime more.
Yeah. Well, what can you do? But that's the characters for you. Rainbow Dash is still Rainbow Dash. Rarity, I tell you, she has insisted on making everybody look fashionable in the band. It's also because of her that the Rainbooms, again, almost lost the preliminary round of the Battle of the Bands, believe it or not.
God damn it, everybody's being egotistical. Let me guess, Fluttershy didn't even bother?
Well, let's see what happens. In the preliminary round, they sang the Shake Your Tail song. Rarity was wearing... It's actually because of sabotage, because some of the other bands got involved in the Rainbow's performance. Rarity was wearing something that was attracted by magnets, so she got knocked around. Fluttershy was scared of the spotlight, so she was running all about the stage, trying to avoid the spotlight that Sips and Snails were shining on her. Yes, Sips and Snails were in it.
Yeah, you did mention that already.
Yeah. So yeah, Fluttershy was running, Rarity was getting knocked around by her magnetic clothing, as it were. And then Pinkie Pie, being Pinkie Pie, stuffed her drums full of confetti. Well, actually, excuse me, she had her party cannon with her, and that kind of got everybody messed up.
So she managed to develop a party cannon in a human world. Oh my god, she needs help. She needs to be stopped. Seriously.
I actually found that ironic since she made mention of having a party cannon near the end of the first movie, so that was a bit of irony there.
She wanted a party cannon, and Pinkie Pie in the human world had a party cannon.
Yeah.
Seriously, Pinkie is breaking the boundaries. She needs to be stopped.
Oh, I doubt it's gonna be stopped anytime soon.
Dude!
that little pink puffball is unbound by anything, dude. What do you want me to do about it, huh?
At least give me the assurance she's not gonna be fucking with my brain in this fanfic that you got going for tonight.
It's not a Pinkie Pie fanfic. I'll get about that after this. Anyways, what else is there to talk about? I talked about the music, I talked about the story, I talked about the characters. The animation. I haven't talked about the animation yet.
Might as well.
The animation in this movie is beautiful. I don't know what it was about it, but it seemed to be at a bit of a higher frame rate than it usually is in the show and even in the first Equestria Girls. I don't know what that was, but yeah.
Maybe readjusting the flash, the puppets or whatever.
Maybe, I don't know, but it looked pretty smooth. And most of the movements and the camera angles and all the stuff that happens in this movie, it's all animated beautifully. Especially, as I said, the final battle between Adagio and Twilight and Sunset and all that. Which, again, I'm not spoiling, but it ends beautifully. Yeah. I'm trying to think now. Is there anything else I can talk about concerning Rainbow Rocks? Anything at all?
I don't know. You spent 45 minutes of this stream just talking about it.
Yeah, I think I've gone on about it long enough. I can't really think of anything else to talk about other than what I've said. But yeah, this movie, I can totally recommend it. Like I said, it's definitely and absolutely better than the first Equestria Girls by leaps and bounds. And if you haven't seen it yet, you definitely should, because I'm going to go see it again this weekend, Saturday.
Don't tell everybody which theater, so that way they don't swarm you.
I don't know. I may as well.